Okay, we are recording. May I have your permission, Satya, to record this conversation?
Yes, please.
Okay. Olena, I have your permission to record. Oh, he's without headsets. Can you hear me, Olena?
Yeah.
May I have your permission to record this conversation?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So today we are giving basic introduction in coaching. We walk from the definition of coaching, that is a third order learning by consciousness. We compare the coaching discipline with mentorship and teaching. So teaching is first order learning, mentoring is second order learning, and coaching is the third order learning, or learning by awareness. Later on, we talk about the elements of ontological coaching. That brings the ontology philosophy and focus on the observer composed by body language and emotions. Now we discuss the systemic perspective on coaching, and explain that I don't like to call it systemic coaching because every coaching is always and was always systemic phenomenon. That's why I use the title coaching with a systemic perspective. So then, in a system, a system is composed by elements, and those elements are interconnected. They are not independent. If the elements are independent, then this is not a system. But if I have a system composed by two elements, if I move one element, the other will also react on this movement. When we have this codependency, then we have a system. If the elements are totally independent, then it's not a system by definition. So, but what has to do with coaching this? As we say, coaching is a conversation between two different mindsets. And the coach is offering a bigger mindset to a client. And that will provoke automatically a growing in client's mindset. So any question on this point?
Clear. Maybe some books where they I don't know, describe some theory or philosophy of systemic coaching.
Yeah, I think these are too advanced, but I will take as an action to search some books, intermediate books, to connect between the basic and advanced. But for example, if you go to Alain Cardone books, he made a beautiful study on the systemic coaching for teams. And
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. And when we are coaching teams, the systemic perspective is quite important.
Mm-hmm.
So, but basically is to be aware of the context. So if you have a Ukrainian member in the team, you cannot expect that this person is not going to be affected by the actual happenings. And then by being aware of the context and the situation of what is happening, then you can approach the relation in a totally different way. Another example is when someone, for example, is joining late a meeting, or someone is experiencing extremely low energy at work and is strongly unmotivated. Many people try to solve the situation using authority. And this maybe is the less recommended way to solve these kind of situations, because there is always a why. There is always a why behind, and you need to be open and curious enough to be able to try to research what's going on behind the behavior. And this is another example where a systemic perspective can be used. So if you don't know what's going on, if the person is walking through personal struggling or having important losses in his life, or maybe he's okay, we don't know. Everything is affecting everything. So this is the point. Okay, then okay, I have pending then to bring you some books on this context. I have one book, but it's in German. I need to check out if there is an English version. But thanks for the hint. I will bring some books. Other questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good. Are we good to go with emotions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as we've seen, emotions is a strong topic in coaching discipline. But the emotions as we address in coaching discipline, in my opinion, has nothing to do with the psychological perspective of emotions, has more to do with the biological perspective of emotions. Why that's important? Well, that's important because a client, when the client is disconnected with its own body or is unaware of his own body existence, then maybe the client is holding a toxic relation with the environment, with life. Maybe the client believes that he can do everything and he should be able to do everything and feel like a superhero. Or maybe the client feels that he cannot do nothing and feel totally impotent. But by reconnecting with their own body, you are reconnecting with your own human power, with your own existence. Your body is present and existence is your essence. And that's why ontological coaching has the body as a pillar for the ontological coaching, because body brings you to the present. And the emotions is the language of our biological side in the body. So, as we talked the last time, but I will repeat shortly, we talk about primary emotions as the emotions that we can observe and manifest in children. So many times children are transparent and honest. When they are sad, they show it. When they are angry, they show it. When they have any kind of emotion, they just show it outside. And this kind of emotions, these pure and authentic emotions, is what we call here primary emotions. As long as this children is growing and integrating, adapting to a grown adult society, then start to develop what we call secondary emotions. And the secondary emotions is when these children learns how to adapt to society, what is social accepted. Then the children learns to not show exactly what he's feeling, but trying to show like a second version of himself, to the surrounding people to be accepted. And this is when we start to have problems with our own existence, because suddenly we try to adapt so much that we lose ourselves. And when we handle emotions in not a natural way, they can become toxic and they can even become disease. We can get sick by repressing our emotions or not handling them accordingly. It can become a health issue. So the point is, for example, if you have a boss, sometimes it's socially accepted that the boss can be mad or have anger or shout on you or be aggressive. This is in many societies is accepted. But if a subordinate is anger to the boss, in many societies, this is not accepted. Then, but the emotion is like an explosion. You cannot. The emotions are really powerful, and as every emotion asks for an action, then if the emotion cannot be released in one way, it will find another way to be released. And in that case, a subordinate in a hierarchical system, when he feels honest anger on something, probably will jump on to come to make a custom, a fake emotion. Then he will jump to fear, or maybe he will think guilty and ask for forgiveness, and many other things. So we know these adaptive behaviors in some toxic work environments. For example, when people are silent quitting, when a person is quitting job, but it's just doing the fair enough just to don't be kicked out, and but it's doing the minimal, and you see that this person is performing the just good enough until finding new better job or this kind of things. So or for example, when someone feels anger with a romantic couple, but to not express this anger because has fear to lose that partner, sometimes convert it into sadness and victimize itself and invent a story about how bad I feel and cry and everything, but inside I have anger. Inside of me, there is something I cannot accept. And this kind of customized emotions are extremely toxic, but not only for ourselves, also for others. And many times in a coaching conversation, a high-level coach should be able to make this distinction, to try to feel this incoherence. For example, when the client says, I have fear, but is laughing like it were something funny, then there is one incoherence between the languaging is declaring to feel fear, but in the body is showing other emotion. Then this disconnection between language and body is something that the coach should perceive in the conversation. Yeah, so this is one example of what we can work in a coaching conversation with emotions. And additionally, we should not forget that emotions has a biological function, because we are talking about emotions as a biological phenomenon. And then all the emotions are adaptive reactions to the environment. So some emotions are designed to save energy, to try to survive a big catastrophe, just try to hide, freeze, and wait for the catastrophe to finish. And those emotions are many times linked to the belief that I cannot do nothing about this. I just need to wait until it's gone. And these emotions, what try to do is to put the body in some kind of saving energy mode, so like ill sleeping mode, to survive the time until the external happenings go away. But other emotions prepare us to fight. As you can see, this is a condensation of blood, depending on the emotions. Some emotions resonate in the stomach, like the disgust. The happiness resonates in the head and the heart, and the anger prepare the fist to fight. So the emotions is biological adaptive reaction to the environment. So what do you feel until here? What comes to your mind when you hear all this story?
Is this a body temperature or heat or?
Yep. If I have the picture to put it bigger. I don't know if you can see properly, or
Yeah, we can see, but I
maybe I
cannot
should.
relate to the actual. So if I'm happy, my body temperature is hotter, or?
Yeah, exactly. You can feel it when you are when you are in an erotical moment. The body temperature rise. It became really hot. So the body temperature changes a lot depending on the emotion. As okay, culturally we know that shame makes our I don't know, the cheeks blush, no? That's why I like really this picture, because it helps us to reconnect with the fact that emotions are biological adapting reactions. Okay, not every of these are really emotions. Some of them are more complex phenomenon, but anyway, it's to understand the body.
Okay.
So when you are in sadness, you feel like you are switch off, low energy. But it's not because sadness is bad. So that's why I like also to say that there is no negative or positive emotions. Where did I put that? So there is no negative or positive emotions. Sorry. All emotions are functional. They became dysfunctional when they don't help me to survive. Because when sadness tries to steal energy from your body, it's a survival attitude. It tries to save energy. So sadness itself feels uncomfortable. That's why I like to say there is sweet or bitter emotions, or we can say comfortable or uncomfortable emotions. But all emotions are good. All emotions has biological function. Then, for example, when a person has the belief that to have fear is something really bad, then this person is having fear to the fear. Then I get scared because I feel fear. Then we enter into panic mode. But when you change your relation with fear, fear can become your partner. But not a problem. If you think that fear is a problem, then you are having one special type of relation with fear. If you see fear as a friend or a partner, you will have different type of relation with fear. That's why we have emotions that make a predisposition to action. There is some emotions that help us to take action. There is some emotions that help us to learn, that opens our mind. Our mind gets opened by those that emotions, like curiosity, ecstasy. Then our mind became totally open to receive the new information. And if we are open to, we are able to grow. This is another author. It's worth it to check out, Fernando Flores. He was, honestly speaking, he was the founder of the ontological coaching many decades ago. And later on appeared many other authors, but I think he was the root author for ontological coaching. And it was the connection with the emotions, what we find out, and the state of moods. And the state of moods are extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. This is a great source of power for a client. Wait a second. Yeah, I think it's functional anyway. I bring here some quotes from Fernando Flores. He defined happiness like a relation with the future, relation with the past and present. Then the happiness as a state of mood or a state of mind is when I have a relation with the future, where possibilities are open and they are not a threat. I have a relation with my past where I feel complete with it. Nothing is pending, nothing is missing. It's done. I consider my past done and gone. And the relation with the present is I feel plenty realized with what I'm doing. When we combine all these three relations, then we can say that we can cultivate a state of mind of happiness or state of mood. And moreover, when we're talking about coaching, check if I have here. Not I will need to check out in the WhatsApp. Yeah, I think it's in the WhatsApp. So the state of mood is also affecting how we interpret the context. So for the copyright reason, I would say this picture can come after school. So our state of mood affect how we perceive the world, how we see the world. So we will see total different world depending on the state of mood we have, because we will be different observers. And this is what change. This is what we call in coaching an observer change. When we see that the client now see total different world, it's not because the world changed, but nothing changed outside the client. The change was inside the client. There was something inside that now is different. And now you have total different eyes and you see a total different world. So one state of mood closes possibilities and the other state of mood opens possibilities. Question, comments?
I think it's fair.
What comes to your mind when you hear this story? Do you remember some situation where you changed your perspective of life and the world by changing your state of mood?
But you mean state of mood, like more about like state of your mind? So what do you think about situation?
Okay, the differentiation between emotions and moods is that the emotions are just short reactions. They can last up to a couple of hours, but not more. When that emotional feeling perseveres through days, maybe 1 week, then we call it state of mood.
Okay.
It can last more months, maybe, but then there is a problem to solve. So the state of mood is when the emotion became more complex. And actually, we have a picture here. So the emotions are here. It's like a level of complexity. When the emotions combine with more other phenomena and became more complex, they became state of moods.
Yes, especially
When this
with
state
memory.
of moods, when the state of moods became more complex, then they became feelings, and they persist and perdure more time, and so on and so on. So this is a complexity chain. So that's why emotions are simple reactions. When their reactions became a pattern, a repetitive pattern, or a relational situation, then they became a state of mood. That's why I have more, generally, I can have frequently the same state of mood when I'm the same person, even if it's good or bad. But every time I meet my boss, I have more or less the same state of mood, and it's not positive. But that's because of the story, because of the relation. And this uncomfortable state of mood closed my possibility to watch options. Like resignation, for example. When I feel resignated that things are not going to change in my workplace, things are not going to change with my boss, okay, that creates me a state of mood where I don't see too much possibilities. That's why it's commonly said that the state of mood is the background soundtrack of a movie. So if you watch a movie like Titanic, when the ship is sinking and they put this dramatic music behind, it enhances totally the feelings of this scene. But if I change the music, I use the same graphic with different music, and I put just a funny child music, happy music, it will be total different experience to watch this movie with the different music in the background. Actually, we can do the experiment. That's why many experts say that the state of mood is the background music in your life experience. I think this understanding liberates us, and we are talking here about liberating talks. This kind of conscious liberates us for blaming the context. So now we cannot blame again the context, because it's not about what is happening. It's about how I see that. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. And this is the observer challenge. And this is the main concern in coaching. And this is what we really take care of when we want to be a coach. Because we need to become experts on finding this gap, this difference between what it is and what I see. Any comments, questions?
No.
Okay, I have the feeling I talk too much. Let me know if you some way feel satisfied with the overall session, if it was interesting, was useful for you.
Yes, definitely. I see a lot of things that have been recollected here. These are the good things that I see. But somewhere, one feedback to relook into the slide is somewhere I see the connect. The connection is missing. So that is the only feedback I have for the slide so far. And as you mentioned, it's a evolving slide. So
Yes,
but it's an
that's
eye opener for us.
That's very good feedback. Thank you. So, Olena, from your side, shall we do a checkout?
Yeah. So for me, from this session was interesting about emotions, like that in coaching we deal with biological expressions of emotions, not psychological. So I need to investigate that more, because I do not, for now, I don't think I can understand that by example. Yes. So yeah, but that's good to work on it, as I think it's important for a coach to understand that and have a different perception of emotions. Then it was interesting about types of coaching and differences between them. And and I didn't know that, like, there is this systemic coaching. Yes, so that was interesting also to learn. And I will look up something about systemic coaching and want to learn more in details. Yeah, I think that very much what I was doing, especially I mean in my life. Yes, so I really like to find connections, yes, between different situations. And I thought more that just, like, I don't know, what I like to think about, and I didn't take it seriously. So I was just just my assumptions. But then it's good to know that there is some theory and also some concept of this. So really interesting topic for me. So I think today's session was really good and opened a lot of new topics for me to learn.
Did I disturb you some way? Did I harm you with something I said?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Why do you why do you have this feeling? Or yeah.
No, I have just curiosity.
Okay. No.
Okay. Thank you, Elena, for the feedback. From my side, I take out that I could write a couple of pages in the document. I was trying to give it more structure. I totally agree with Satija feedback. We need more structure in the content, and is what I'm working on. So, any suggestion on how to structure it better, or where do you feel the structure is missing, is welcome. Your commenters, you can write comments in the document. And this presentation will become also a book after. In the book, there will be more deep content that I think will be more easy to connect concepts than in just a presentation, because a presentation without the speaker is like nothing. It's like an empty book. And this is the main point. So I find high value on this session, and I think we are consolidating basic concepts that are critical to understand coaching and to lead it. And maybe what I'm missing, maybe more preparation from my side to select the pictures, to have more links and more books to the content. Okay, then I pass the voice to Satija. So your turn to do the checkout. So if you want to share, Satya, with us, what do you take out from the session, on what you were missing, or you feel that you already share, it's okay.
So as I said, it was eye-opener for me. It's my takeout to see the coaching from different perspective. And yeah, that's my takeout for today.
Good. I hope it was useful for you.
Yes, it is much useful.
Okay, good. Nice, happy. Taking consideration that many things I share here are just my opinion and interpretation, many other authors and experts may differ on these interpretations. So feel free to create your own interpretations and to explore the world. Then to close, I want to thank you for being here, for investing your time here, because without you here present, this space does not exist. And I want to ask you again permission if I can conserve the recording and upload it to YouTube. Is it okay for you?
Yes, for me that's fine.
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. That helps us to share knowledge and to grow all together. Then if you have new concerns for next time, please contact me to prepare the content. And in other sessions, we are going to explore real coaching conversations. We are going to do some exercises. And whatever you need, just contact me and can prepare for next time. So,
can we? Yes,
yeah.
I have a suggestion.
Okay.
Can we talk more in details about this coaching with a systemic view?
Yep.
Sorry, Daniel, I had a hard stop. I need to leave. Thank you for the...
Yeah, we are past due. Thanks for being here. I wish you a great time.
Thank
I
you.
will
We'll
stay
meet another time.
1 minute, but it's okay. Thank you for being
Thank
here,
you. Bye.
Satya. See you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
So So I will stop recording and we can stay talking.
Mhm.